Shinji Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion is often seen as one of the most controversial characters in anime. Many people see him as a cowardly and weak protagonist who's responsible for his own problems, while others see him as a deeply flawed yet extremely human and sympathetic protagonist. In this video, I will explain why I believe Shinji is one of the most realistic and well-written protagonists in anime, and despite his whiny personality, his character is a great example of the deconstruction of the hero, showing the mental toll of having to take on the responsibility of saving the world. At the start, Shinji is presented as a timid and insecure character. He was abandoned by his father as a kid and struggled with the fear of rejection. He displays a lot of indecisiveness in his actions due to his fear and anxiety. He forces himself to pilot the robot to gain approval from his father, and in return has to deal with the weight of having to carry the burden of protecting mankind. Throughout the story, we see his struggle of trying to create meaningful relationships with others in his journey of finding purpose in life. He's nothing like the average overconfident shonen protagonist who never gives up and is able to do anything, which might make him less likable to some people. But it's important to understand that the point of his character is to show how a real kid would actually react to having to carry such a great burden. An important aspect of Shinji's character is his relationship with others and how they affect him. The series explores the complexities of human relationships and the challenges that comes with trying to form meaningful connections with others. His relationship with Rei started off as pretty distant but became closer throughout the story. They share a mutual desire to find purpose, and it's that very thing that draws them closer to each other. Shinji sees her as being fragile and in need of care, which drives his instinct of wanting to protect, giving him a newfound sense of purpose. She also acts as a source of emotional support for Shinji in the midst of chaos, offering moments of calm in his life. Their relationships help him experience moments of tenderness and connection which he craves. Another important relationship for Shinji is his relationship with Misato. She acts as his maternal figure who tries her best to guide him to become a better person while dealing with her own problems. It's through her that Shinji finds comfort and is able to gradually open up emotionally. She encourages him to confront his fears, showing him the importance of personal agency and self-acceptance. Shinji's relationship with his dad Gendo, on the other hand, is extremely strained and complicated. Gendo is a selfish guy who mainly concerns himself with the goal of reuniting with his wife Yui, which causes him to be cold towards his son. There's also a feeling of resentment from Shinji towards his father due to abandoning him as a child, which makes them unable to understand each other. He neglects Shinji's feelings, even forcing him to kill his own friend Toji, doing huge damage on his mental toll, and also fails to acknowledge him, further contributing to his feeling of worthlessness. And finally, arguably Shinji's most important yet complex relationship is his relationship with Asuka. It's a rather toxic relationship that is driven by both friendship and rivalry. Asuka's aggressive and egotistical personality clashes with Shinji's timid and passive nature, which causes a lot of misunderstanding and conflict. Her confident nature makes him question his abilities as a pilot, further fueling his feelings of inadequacy and reinforces his self-doubting. His desire for validation from Asuka also causes him to push himself harder in combat, even when it takes a toll on his emotional well-being. She often belittles Shinji, which further contributes to his feeling of hopelessness in making meaningful relationships. These relationships are the things that drive Shinji's character throughout the story. There's both moments of happiness and sadness with his character. Despite moments of comfort, his character gradually becomes more and more broken throughout the story. This is shown with how he has to deal with the loss of the people that he cares about, while still having to save the world, showing the weight of what it means to be a hero. This is shown with his relationship with Kaoru. Kaoru is another character that also contributes a lot to Shinji's character development. He's a character that Shinji shared a bond with but had no choice but to kill after learning the truth that he's an angel. This was the final straw that destroyed Shinji and led to the broken state that we saw him in End of Evangelion. Despite Misato's attempt to help, he couldn't overcome it, and it only got worse after he witnessed the death of Asuka. Prior to the event of the third impact, we're shown a deep psychological exploration into the mind of Shinji, showing his fears and struggles. In his most vulnerable state, filled with loneliness and despair, He became a vessel for the Human Instrumentality Project, resulting in a cataclysmic event that destroyed the world. Inside the Human Instrumentality Project, it became a world where all individuality is erased and all humans join as one, where the emotional barrier is no longer there to prevent people from connecting with each other. But after everything he has been through, Shinji came to the realization that this isn't the world that he wanted. He realized that despite everything that happened, he still wanted to see the ones he cared about again. That even with all the pain that comes with living, he knows that the feelings that he felt when he was around them was very much real. It showcases Shinji's strong desire of wanting to live, to be able to create meaningful connections with others. And with that, he rejected instrumentality. Through his mother, he realized that despite all the pain and suffering that comes with living, as long as the sun and the moon still exist, as long as he still has the will to live, happiness can still be found. In the end, his act of strangling Asuka can be interpreted as showing the inner turmoil he was feeling at that moment. It can be seen as both him expressing his frustration and anger towards Asuka, as well as for his existence to be acknowledged by her. It's clear that the struggle of finding happiness for Shinji still continues in the end, despite him understanding the importance of human connections. It's a dark yet oddly optimistic ending that showcases the power of the human spirit even in the worst time. And I personally think it's a fitting ending for a series about finding purpose like Evangelion. Many of us in this world are not able to find our purpose in life, yet we still struggle on to find happiness, and I believe it's a very powerful message. This is how you write an actual deep and complex character, not just have them turn from a crybaby to an edgelord in an instant. And I'm talking specifically about Eren Yeager and Ken Kaneki here. These are two characters that took the whiny character archetype of Shinji, but executed them completely wrong, because both of them don't even understand what makes it work in the first place, yet for some reason are praised by people who think edgy equals good. In conclusion, while some may interpret him as being whiny, Shinji's character offers a highly realistic and human take on what it means to be a hero, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. He struggles to form meaningful connections with others in his journey of finding purpose in life. Yet, despite all the pain and suffering he goes through, he still displays a strong desire to live, to form meaningful relationships with others, making him a sympathetic character that people can relate to. And that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching.